All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and today I think it's episode 39 for UFC Vegas 65. I'll be breaking down the card with my guy, Johnny K. Picks, new to the show, absolute beast, killing it on the regionals, killing it on the scene with Blood Money. What's up, Johnny? Thank you for pulling up, brother. How are you? And are you excited for this card?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm doing good. And this card, looking at it at first hand doesn't look like the greatest, but hey, we got fights. That's all that matters. The main card looks actually pretty solid. I'll give it that. But the prelims, a lot of 50-50 fights that can go either way. It just depends on what argument you like. And there's our guy there, Patrick.
Yes, sir. A lot of 50-50 fights, honestly, and I'm hyped to dive right into it with you.
Yeah.
We got our guy Pat in the chat. If you're not following Addicted to Combat, I don't know what you're doing. Get out of here right now. Pat's the man. And yeah,
he's all right. He's all right. Let's be honest.
Yo, he's jacked. All right, don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with Pat.
He looks like he's in his 40s. So no,
he's Cyril Gahn's younger brother. All right, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
And his son is Hasbullah.
I'm glad we know the same Pat jokes. Yes. But all right, yo, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna break down UFC Vegas 65 tonight. Gonna be a good time. Trash card, but it's okay. We're gonna make do because that's what we do every week. And yeah, we'll hop right in. We've got this first fight. We've got Natalia Silva versus Tereza Bleda. Silva's 13-5-1. She's 25 years old, 5'4" with a 65-inch reach. And I've got her training out of, I don't have a camp, so I'm going with Tapology, Team Baracha. By the way, Johnny, if you know the camps for any of these people, if I say I don't know, just let me know, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at Tapology too. So whatever you see on there, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I normally try to double check on Instagram, but like a lot of the time it's just not there. So like,
yeah, and they do. A lot of fighters switch camps like every fight, so you don't know. It might not be updated.
Yeah, a lot of fighters run their own camps. That's the most confusing. But yeah, so Silva, Team Baracha, we're gonna go with that. Tereza Bleda on the other side. She's 6-0, undefeated as a pro. 20 years old, which is outrageous. Mm-hmm. She's 5'9", 5 inches taller. She's got a 70-inch reach. She's got a 6-inch reach advantage. And I don't have a camp for her, so we're going with there's no way that's her gym. She's training somewhere in the Czech Republic. Johnny, why don't you start us off, man?
Well, to start the night off, this is a pretty decent fight for a couple prospects that are really up and coming. They're young. I like Silva here. I think she does have the better striking. She's better on the feet. She will be the smaller fighter, which is always a little concerning. But I think she has very good jiu-jitsu. She's very quick on her feet, and she likes to circle the cage pretty well, and she does it well. In her last fight against Jasmine, I think she looked very good. She impressed me. Even though I know I had a bet on Jasmine, and made me look foolish. I know that. But Bleda is actually pretty good too. She's got good striking. She's more of a wrestler. She has good takedowns. She's going to be the bigger fighter. So to me, I just think Silva is just a little bit more talented at this time. I know Bleda just won on the Dana White Contender Series about a month ago. She didn't end up getting the contract, if I remember correctly. They didn't give it to her.
She's very boring.
Yeah. So to me, I think the way that Bleda wins this fight is if she does get those takedowns and just pretty much win on control time. But I think there's a little bit more path to victory for Silva, and I actually think she's pretty talented. So give me Silva here. I think it's going to go to decision, but yeah, I mean, this could be a 50-50 fight. I could see it go either way too. They're both really talented, like I said.
Yeah, so I was just pulling up my bet real quick. I wanted to see my odds, but I played Bleda. I played her at plus 150. I played her for a unit, and here's what I'm thinking, right? So I backed Silva in her UFC debut. I was there live. I believe it was Austin. I constantly mix up Austin and Long Island because I went to both, but I'm pretty sure it was Austin. And I backed her there. I backed Maria Oliveira, who we're going to talk about soon. I was super hype about myself. 2 women WMMA dogs back to back. All right, Mike, let's go. And yeah, I mean, Silva looks great, right? Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
the commentary kind of, they gave it away. Like, nobody expected her to look that way. No one. If you watched her tape, you did not expect her to be a good striker. And she was a great striker, like a very, very good striker, creating angles, putting on combinations, mixing in kicks with punches. I mean, it's intense. She's doing a really good job. And because she's not fighting often, we don't have much information on her takedown defense. I mean, she defended 6 or 7 takedowns against Jasmine, which is impressive. You know, you got a Canadian freestyle champion, whatever. But I honestly think that Bleda could get her down anyways. I think that there's a difference in terms of the wrestling styles. I was talking about this with Mark Madsen and what's his name? Who just beat Mark Madsen? Sorry,
Dawson.
And I was saying, Mark Madsen's an Olympian, right? But in MMA, in martial arts, wrestling's a little bit different. And I felt that Dawson would be the one getting the advantage there. And I think that's relevant here as well. I think that Bleda, yeah, she's not a silver medalist in national Canadian wrestling, sure, but she's a very good wrestler. She's the same size as Jasmine. I believe she's actually a little bit bigger. And also her striking is way, way better than Jasmine's, in my opinion. So I ended up taking Bleda. I took her because she was an underdog, plus 150. Because I see this fight kind of 50-50, I would have taken the dog either way. That's just how I roll. I love Silva. I think she can match Bleda on the feet. But in terms of the grappling, right? Like, if I think the striking is close to even, and then Bleda is also bigger, taller, longer, who's a better grappler? Bleda. You got to go with Bleda. Plus 150, played it for a unit. Kind of like that spot.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit for the underdog. I mean, I don't have a bet on this fight. Like I said, I like Silva, but I'm not going to pay the price for that. When a 50-50 fight, there's no way. The only thing I might do is I might throw the over 2.5 in a parlay. I think it's around 200, 240 if I remember correctly. But
minus 251 right now.
Okay, mine 251. I mean, that's a solid parlay piece. I think it will go. I don't see either one of them finishing because, like I said, Bleda's really good grappler, and Silva would maybe have to get a submission, and I don't see that happening. I don't see a knockout either. So
I'm actually glad you brought up the submission, because I feel like if Silva got an early finish or like a finish inside the distance, I feel like it might be a sub. Because when I was breaking down Bleda for Contender Series, something I noted, her neck is always in the guillotine position. Okay. She just sticks it in there and is like, yo, pull Gilly on me. Let's see what happens now. And, you know, if she does that against Silva, maybe she gets subbed, but I think she's going to stay safe. That's why I played her. Plus 150. She's like plus 140 now. I still think that's playable. But.
Yeah, I think so too. Real quick, before we jump into the next fight, though, I noticed that you said you went to UFC Austin. I actually went to UFC Austin, too. I was there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And that fight was UFC Austin, the Silva fight. So I just checked it out. But yeah, it's crazy that we were both there.
That was such a fun card, man.
Dude, it was amazing.
I remember like hearing afterwards that like, yeah, it set the record for finishes and whatnot. And I was just like, fuck yeah.
Yep. Yeah, me and my wife were there, and she went to use the restroom, and she came back like screaming. She's like, John, come here. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm freaking out. So I run over to the like the concourse, and she's like, here's Giga and Roman Dolidze. I'm like, oh my God. Like, we got pictures with them. It was funny.
That's lit. See, my girlfriend is Georgian.
Okay.
So like Giga, Dolidze, they're Georgian, right?
Yeah.
And Cutelaba, he fought when we were there in Texas, right?
Yep.
Right. So after he fought, he lost, whatever. I thought he won. Doesn't matter right now.
Very close fight, yeah.
I ran into him, bro. We ran into him, me and my girl. We ran into him at In-N-Out Burger.
Okay.
In-N-Out Burger. I see him crouched over the table with like his hoodie on. My girlfriend's like, do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? I was like, no. He just got his ass fucking handed to him. Like, no. And then he's leaving the place, and my girlfriend in Georgian, she like says something. And he thought she was just some American girl learning Georgian. He's like, thank you. And just like moves on.
That's funny.
It was funny. But yeah, we'll move on now. We've got, speaking of Texas, we got a guy right here. We got Fernie Garcia versus Brady Hiestand. Fernie Garcia's 10-2-0. He's 30 years old. 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. And I believe he's still out of Fortis MMA. On the other side, we got Brady Hiestand. He's 5'2-0. 23 years old, so he's 7 years younger. Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
5'8", 1 inch taller, 71-inch reach. He's got a 4-inch reach advantage, and he's training at a Sikjitsu. So it's my turn, I believe. And yeah, I mean, I'm all over Brady here. I played him at, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. All right. I played him at minus 156 for 2 units, and it really came down to this. Fernie Garcia is a really good boxer. He's shown that. He's very good with his hands, but he's not a good wrestler. Journey Newsom, decent wrestler. I backed him in that fight. I expected him to win, and he did win. But it just showed me that a guy like Brady Hiestand could also find his way here. I think that on the feet, maybe it's a slight edge the other way, but I feel like Brady can hang on the feet, even though he's not the boxer here. At the end of the day, like Fernie Garcia, he's a boxer, but because of that, he's not throwing kicks at all. He's not throwing leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks. And if you know it's all coming from the hands, it's easier to defend. So it's just something to think about. But I think that Brady can mix in the wrestling here, just like Journey Newsom did, just on a higher level. I think that Brady has the better striking. I think that Brady's bigger, stronger. So minus 156, 2 units. I liked it quite a bit. I'm honestly considering adding another one to make it profit 2 units.
Okay.
We'll see if I get there. We'll see what you think, Johnny. I'm hyped to hear what you're thinking. But what are you thinking for this fight?
I wouldn't say this is a 50-50 fight, but probably like a 54, 55%, 45. But I like Brady as well. I think he's going to be the better overall fighter. Like you said, he's got very good wrestling, good takedowns. He's got good control time, good top control. He's kind of hittable on the feet at times in his last fight with Turcios. But, you know, we'll get to that later on because it's the same card. So, but Garcia, he's a decent boxer, like you said. He's kind of low volume, doesn't have good takedown defense. He can survive on the mat if he gets taken down, but like he doesn't really impress me. He doesn't do anything amazing. And I think Brady's wrestling, grappling is what's going to make allow him to win this fight I would say pretty decently. I mean, the only way that I can see Brady losing is if maybe Garcia catches him, but he doesn't really have like that knockout power either. So it's hard to pick Garcia here, but I like Brady here. I think they go to decision, but man, like I said, this is like another really kind of close fight, but I'm gonna go with Brady here. I like the bet though. I'm just too scared. I'm not gonna do it.
I feel you, man. You brought it up, so I pulled it up. Fight goes to decision as actually minus 150, which seems, it seems a little bit too deep, but like I think that's a decent bet, honestly. Like I do think this fight goes to decision. Fight goes.
Oh, fight goes to decision. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
minus
actually pretty
150.
decent. That might be the way. I mean, I think Brady wins a decision, but if you want that extra safe feeling in your heart, maybe this is the way to go, or do the fight goes to decision. Same price or approximately.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing either guy finishing the other. Like,
yeah,
if it's Fernie, it's got to be some kind of boxing knockout, which I don't really see happening. And if it's Brady, I don't even know how Brady does it inside the distance. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're on the same side, so we can move right along to this next fight. Both saw Maria Oliveira. If we were both live in Texas, we got Maria Oliveira versus Vanessa Demoupoulos. Oliveira is 13-5-0. She's 25 years old, 5'6" with a 69-inch reach, and she is training out of PRVT. Demoupoulos on the other side is 8-4-0. She's 34 years old, 9 years older, 5'2". She's 4 inches shorter, 62-inch reach. She's got a 7-inch reach disadvantage. According to UFC stats, I had a 10-inch reach disadvantage, so just bringing that up there.
Let's put the gap and say 8.5.
8.5. Jeez Louise. And she's training out of Fight Ready MMA. So, Johnny, why don't you start us off, man?
Yeah, so I will say right away, in Austin, I had the other side of Maria's fight. I had Gloria to win that fight, and I was kind of mad that the way she looked, because Oliveira impressed me in that fight too. She's got good striking. She can be wild at times, though. Let's see. But she has very high volume, too, which that's going to play a big part in this fight, I believe. She's got okay takedown defense. She did show a couple takedowns, too, but she doesn't really have good top control. So I don't think she's going to go for takedowns in this fight. It wouldn't be a good idea, let's be honest. Vanessa, she's mainly a grappler. She's just going to be the smaller fighter. It's hard for her to get close to a lot of her opponents. And she tried doing that with Silvana Gomez Juarez, and she got rocked, but she ended up winning. But now I'm going to go with Maria here. I think she's going to win this fight just by volume alone. She potentially can land a knockout shot here. I would give her maybe like a 30% chance of doing that, but I think this goes to decision. And I think Maria wins at least 2 rounds pretty comfortably just by outstriking. Maybe the first round will go to Vanessa. Maybe she gets a phantom takedown, but she doesn't really have the greatest takedowns either. So, like I said, this is another fight where, the line's close, and I like Oliveira a lot. I'm thinking about placing a bet on her, but I really try to stay away from women's MMA as much as I can. But I'm kind of liking the line, especially in the price, and I just see a clear path to victory for Maria here. So give me her by decision.
Yeah, I used to try to avoid women's MMA because I felt like, you just always lose. Mm-hmm. And then I track on Bet MMA, so I looked at my stats and stuff, and it turns out, what am I best at? Women somehow.
Nice.
So I've been trying to tune into that. I did play Oliveira against Gloria de Paula. That was glorious. It was a great win. But I wanted to back Vanessa because I don't know about you. I listen to a lot of other shows. It's my thing. Do it while I clean. Mm-hmm. I told Pat he's my vacuuming show. So I was listening to Clint from Die Hard MMA, and he had on what's his name? Brandon Olives, a fighter. And Brandon, I guess, is good friends with Vanessa. They were in the same building, whatever. And he just brings her onto camera, and Clint's just looking at Vanessa, and they start talking. And looking at this woman, it was hard to bet against her. She's very happy, very excited. She's I got this. I got this. I know what I'm doing. Clint was like, can you tell us how you're going to win? And she's like, no, but you can look at what I'm good at and know that I'm going to do that. So what are you good at? You're good at grappling. I assume you're going to try to grapple, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Oliveira's going to win this fight. I just think the size difference is too tremendous. Depending on the measurements, we're looking at 10 to 8 inches of a reach disadvantage, which is just tremendous.
It is.
And it's not like Demoupoulos is some kind of high level. Even if she was a medium level wrestler, that'll be a different story. But she doesn't really wrestle. She has one takedown in the UFC. That was her last fight. She got that takedown. That's it. Oliveira's got pretty good takedown defense. Will she get taken down if Demoupoulos shoots? I think probably yes. Will she get held down? I don't think so. And on the feet, 8-inch reach disadvantage. What is it, 3 inches of height disadvantage? 4.
4. Yep.
It's rough, man. And Oliveira's a good striker. It's not like she's just a trash striker with a size advantage. She's a good striker. She's gonna rip her up at range. I think it's Oliveira. I was gonna wait for the odds because earlier today Oliveira was -110 and it was going the other way, but now she's -120. It's going towards her, so I'll probably bet her at the end of this show. And
I'm waiting to you. I think there is going to be some Vanessa love, and I think she's going to get a pretty as the fight gets closer. So I'm waiting until if I see Oliveira maybe -130, and I'm I don't see it coming down. I'll probably bet it then. But I'm okay with waiting just a touch because I think there's going to be a lot of people on Vanessa later on in the week.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out. It's the difficulty of judging lines, right? Because you have to figure out what people are going to be hype about. It all depends on hype. That's what lines are at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's once the lines come out, the lines will shift real quick, and then it's slow as the week goes on, and then they shift again during weigh-ins, and then they shift again right before the fight. So those are the 3 times they shift, and in between there, it's it's very slow. You might get a jump here and there, but usually that's a rare occasion.
Yeah, that's why I usually try to look at when the lines first open. That's my thing.
It's hard. It's hard to gauge that though.
Yeah. Also, lines open at the most random times. I actually forgot to have my phone next to me because lines have been opening all day today, but it's been all the lines that I'm not prepared for. I do all my regional research, whatever. I was not prepared for Centurion MMA and Pettis FC. I was ready for literally everything else. But
yeah, you do a lot, man. I saw all your stuff and I'm like, wow, how do you have time for all this? I barely have time to do UFC.
I don't have the time. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. But we can hop into this next fight. I'm actually very curious to hear what you think for this one. We've got Ricky Turcios versus Kevin Natividad. Ricky is 11-3-0. He's 29 years old, 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. And I know he's that Team Alpha Male / Gracie Barra Woodlands. On the other side, we got Kevin Natividad. He's 9-3-0, 29 years old as well. He's 5'6". He's 3 inches shorter. 70-inch reach. He's got a 2-inch reach disadvantage, and he's training at a Fight Ready MMA. Yeah, I mean, so like everybody else, I'm very hesitant on Turcios now because his last fight, he threw like 200 strikes and landed like 10. I mean, I think the percentage was like 20%, something like that. Atrocious.
It was bad.
The truth is, though, he's not normally like that, right? Like, he's always throwing high output. He's just normally landing. Did he not land because of his opponent or because of himself? I don't know. I don't know. This is weird because I honestly think that Natividad, like, I wanted to think that there was a way for him to win. I did. He's got a wrestling background. I believe he's a 2-time state champion in Arizona, something along those lines. His striking is pretty good. I mean, leading up to his UFC debut, like, him and his brother are both very highly, like, touted. His brother to this day is still very highly touted, and it seems like he might be the A side of the two brothers. But Kevin, he was supposed to be really good, and then he came in. He fought for his first fight. It was Miles Johns. Round 1, Miles Johns dominated. Round 2, got a little closer, and then the knockout came where people said Miles Johns held the gloves. Might have happened, might not have. What can you do? But from that fight, and then you can't take much when he got knocked out by Donna Bakary. But like, what I understood from those fights is that he's a good striker, but like, he's not that defensively sound. He's not an amazing striker, and while he has this wrestling background, he's not really using it. And you look at Ricky. He fought Brady for their UFC debuts, like for the championship for the Ultimate Fighter. Brady's a very good wrestler. What did he do? He got taken down. Yeah, he did. But he got up, scrambled, got his own takedowns, got 2 of them, took the back. So I feel like Ricky should be the winner here. He's got the better striking, in my opinion. Offensive wrestling, maybe not, but overall grappling, I give to Ricky. And he's the bigger guy here. He's bigger, he's younger, and he's not the one who's coming off 2 losses with his job on the line. So I think it's going to be Ricky. Do I want to play it? I really don't. I really don't, honestly. Minus 155 for Ricky, plus 135 for Kevin. It's like, it seems like a buy low spot for Ricky. Like, you should be playing this just because he had one. Like, I'm one of the people who will say, like, just because a person had a bad performance doesn't mean anything, right? Like, they can come back in with a better performance or a different performance. But if you're gonna throw 200 strikes, land 20, I'm gonna be really, really hesitant to put my money on you. Yeah. So I do think Ricky wins. I think minus 155 is pretty fair. I'm just hesitant to get there myself. What are you thinking, Johnny?
Well, I will say I do not like the line. I don't like either side. I think it's a little bit off. I would rather have Kevin at like, plus 150, 170 range. And I would rather have Turcios at like minus, maybe 110, like a pick 'em. But yeah, everything you said is like exactly what I think too. Turcios should win this fight. But man, that last fight has me so scared that I'm not touching this betting for sure. But Natividad, I mean, he's got the good wrestling, like you said, good grappling. His striking is okay, but he's chinny. Like, he just goes in there and he gets caught every time. But I mean, Ricky's not a knockout artist, if you want to say, but he's really high volume, even if he hits air. He's got good grappling. He gets taken down a lot, but he gets up and he's always active off his back. So that's a good thing. He has good submissions too. So, I mean, everything points to Ricky, but I mean, what Ricky are we going to get? Are we going to get the Ricky that he when he fought Brady, or are we going to get the Ricky that in his last fight where he didn't look like he wanted to engage? He was just trying to make the judges like pick him to win or something. I don't know. He was literally being like the male Chukagian of the bantamweight division. So
I was waiting for you to stop talking to say that.
because I mean that's how it was, and it was pretty like cringy after like the second round, and he's still doing it. I'm like, you're not winning, dude. Like you need to do something because you're not winning. Yeah, and it's like making noise like and I'm like. I mean, I didn't bet him, but I was just like, dude, if anyone bet him, I would feel so embarrassed. And it's not even your fault. Like, because he's just literally doing nothing. But
I bet him. I was embarrassed.
I would be embarrassed. I mean, I had an embarrassing pick last week with Puelos, but I didn't bet him. But yeah, that was a bad pick. But anyways, I'm gonna go.
I bet Puelos and then I hedged the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna bet him. I just picked him because I thought he had one chance. But anyways, I'm gonna go with Ricky here. I think he gets it done by decision. I don't see a knockout. I mean, maybe a submission if Kevin gets like a takedown and maybe he'll reverse him and get on his back and maybe a rear naked choke. But I think Kevin's grappling is pretty decent. So give me Ricky by decision. I'm not touching this fight whatsoever, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch it, but you brought up the decision, so I pulled up the odds. It's plus 240 on Bet Online, which is not something I'd play, but it's plus 300 on Bet 365. I don't have that available by any means, but if I get plus 300 for Ricky by decision, that's absolutely the way I'm going to play it because for a fight like this, I want to play it cheap, right? Like I don't want to parlay Ricky. I don't want to play 2 units on Ricky. And I definitely don't want to play Natividad, even though that's the spot I was looking for. But if I can get Ricky by decision for plus 300, put 0.35 units to win 1, I like it. I like it. But we'll see about that one. We can move on for now, though. For this next fight, we've got Miles Johns versus Vince Morales. Miles Johns is 12-2-0, 28 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. And I believe he's still at Fortis MMA. Vince Morales on the other side is 11-6-0, 32 years old. He's 4 years older, 5'7". They're the same height, 68-inch reach, same reach, and he's training at a Syndicate MMA. Johnny, why don't you start us off, man?
Okay, well, I see a lot of red flags in this fight. I know a lot of people are on Miles Johns, but yeah, Miles Johns, he's a good striker. He's got good boxing, good power early. He's a very good wrestler. He hasn't been using it as of late, which kind of always shocks me when wrestlers don't like to wrestle. And he gasses a little bit as the fight goes on. He slows down a little bit. I mean, Morales is a good striker too. Doesn't really wrestle. He's pretty tough. Doesn't check leg kicks, and he's got some power as well. So. And another thing to note is Johns is taking this fight on short notice, about 2 weeks, I believe. I don't think it's like a super short notice fight. So he's not going to have a full camp, but it's not going to be like last minute replacement. But I know Miles Johns is the better overall fighter. I'm not saying Morales is, but I'm just worried if this fight, the later it gets, is Johns going to be able to be okay in the third round. Morales, I know he kind of slows down too, but I just worry with Johns. I'm gonna pick Johns to win. I keep going back and forth with like a first round knockout or a decision, but I'll say decision. I think if Johns can wrestle, if he decides to wrestle, I think he should win this fight easily, hands down. He'll be able to control Morales on the ground no matter what. But if he wants to keep this a boxing match like he's been doing, it's going to be a little bit closer. I'd be a little bit sweating if I have a bet on Johns, but I still think he gets it done. So give me Johns here by decision. Maybe a first round knockout if he catches them good.
Yeah, I'm on Johns. I played him at minus 145 when the line first opened. I played him for 2 units. For me, it really came down to this. I just don't think Vince Morales is very good, honestly. Does he do anything incredibly? No. Vince Morales, he's a decent striker. I like his jab a lot. I like what he does with the jab, but he doesn't follow it up. He's not really doing much with it. So, like, sure, it's great that you're jabbing. It's great that you're using your lead hand, hitting it 2-3 times, but, like, follow it up. Do something with it. And he's not. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you brought this up. I thought it was a good point. Like, Miles Johns, he's a good wrestler. and he never wrestles.
Yep.
He has like one takedown in the UFC, I think one or two.
I hate that.
Literally, what the fuck, man?
And it really makes me mad, because if he would wrestle more and show me that he wants to wrestle or mix it up at least, I would bet John's all day here, even on short notice and all the little red flags that he has. I would do it
because he's already winning on the feet, right? So like, if you mix in the wrestling too, you could be winning, man. You could be winning.
It would be dominating. It'd be an easy 30-27, or maybe even, gas out Morales. But I mean, John's gasses out a little bit too. So I don't know if maybe that's why he doesn't wrestle. I don't know. It could be that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, so I took Miles Johns minus 145 to units. I think he should win because he's better everywhere. My two concerns are fight IQ, because he's never wrestling, and he's got those dinosaur T-Rex arms. Kind of short, has a hard time closing the distance. We've seen him beat up a little bit because of that, but I do like Miles Johns as well. And we can move on to the next one.
Okay.
All right. So I've got a bit of a bias here. We've got Jennifer Maia versus Maryna Moroz. Maia's 19, 9-1. She's 34 years old, 5'4" with a 64-inch reach, and she's currently at Academia Midgard, is what I have. Moroz is 11-3-0. She's 31. She's 3 years younger. 5'7". She's 3 inches taller with the 67-inch reach, 3-inch reach advantage, and she's training out of American Top Team. So it's my turn. I'll start this off with a warning. I'm Ukrainian, so Maryna Moroz is dear to my heart. I love her. She's a beast. She's represented us well. Every single male Ukrainian fighter is just terrible. The closest we have to somebody good is Yaroslav Amosov, Bellator champion. But other than that, we don't have anybody. Maryna Moroz is our
Krylov is pretty decent.
Krylov is actually, he's Ukrainian, but he's from like the Russian part of it.
Oh, okay.
So he actually, if you notice, like he doesn't show the Ukrainian flag when he comes in. Yeah. It's because he doesn't claim us.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. Okay.
We don't claim him. But yeah. So I am with the Ukrainians. I got to be a little bit biased, but I'll say this. I think Maryna Moroz wins this fight. I think the line is entirely too wide. I think that a pick'em would probably be appropriate here. I think that the better grappler is offensive grapplers, probably Maryna Moroz. Jennifer Maia has pretty much literally never shown any offensive grappling. Defensively, yeah, she's very good. And she does defend takedowns well against high-level competition. But at the end of the day, like, she's so limited. She's so limited because she's a high-level BJJ woman who does not use her BJJ, refuses to use it, does good boxing. She's a way better boxer than you'd expect. But, like, I just don't expect her to keep winning fights that way. Either start using what you're good at or you're going to keep losing fights. And I feel like Maryna Moroz can come in here. She's going to have the better output. If she doesn't have the better technique, I think she's still going to outwork Maia because of that output, because of the size difference, because of the fact that she's actually using her range striking. And in terms of offensive grappling, like, yeah, Maia has good takedown defense, but there's only one person here who's going to attempt them, and it's Moroz. So I'm very tempted on the first bet I thought of. The very first thing was I want to play Maia. Have you ever seen the spreads, Johnny, on Bet Online?
Yes, like and I wish I usually use DraftKings and they don't have that, but yeah, I would be all about that.
So the first thing that came to my head was like Maia is going to be plus 3.5. Hit that shit, and they set it at minus 270 because they understood. Because what that means is you only need Maia to win one round. Like that's all you need for that bet, and the bookies understand that's probably going to happen. She's probably going to pick up at least one round.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is because the price is kind of fucked up, I'm thinking Moroz by decision. It's like minus 105 on Bet Online. I have a feeling I'm going to get plus 100 on FanDuel. I'm probably going to play that for a unit. I don't think she gets a finish here. I think she wins a greasy decision. But I like Moroz. How about you, Johnny?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to be the contrarian picker here. I'm rolling the dice. I'm going to go with Maia here. Not to say that Moroz is bad by any means. She's a very good fighter. I just think, she fought Agapova and she looked really good. I mean, Agapova, she could be a fraud. She could not be. Who knows? there was a lot of bad blood. So, I mean, I'm sure she had a little bit of extra motivation and it made her look a little bit better. She does have good striking, good grappling, good takedowns. Jennifer Maia, I mean, like you said, she's not the most offensive grappler, but she's got very good defensive grappling, good takedowns, or not takedowns, I'm sorry, takedown defense. She's good in the clinch and she's really strong and she's got good boxing. She's kind of low volume, but I think she's the stronger fighter. So I think she'll be able to hit harder, and she might end up winning this by a really close decision, like you said, but just because of her landing the more impactful strikes. I think she'll land the harder strikes. It might not be as much as Moroz because she does throw more volume. But I think this is going to be more of a stand-up fight, and I don't see a lot of grappling. Maybe Moroz tries early on, and Maia stuffs most of them or all of them, and I think it'll just be the rest of the way is going to be a striking match. And who's going to win it? I mean, is it going to be the person with the more volume, or is it going to be the person I think that can land the more impactful strikes and maybe do the more damaging strikes, if you want to say? Because lately the judges have been a little crazy with that, and I don't think the judges know quite yet if they should do one way or another because it's not consistent from fight to fight. So give me Maia here. I think I'm mainly doing this pick because of the line. Like you said, I think it's a little too wide. I would rather it be around maybe minus 130, 140, and maybe I would jump on it. But I think Maia has a little bit better of a chance than a lot of people are thinking. And she's fought really good competition. Like she's fought Manon Farot. She's fought Chikagian twice. She fought Shevchenko. I mean, those are the top of the top. I mean, she's beat the people that she needs to beat, but she's fighting really good people that, I mean, she's not that good, not as good as them, let's be honest. So give me Maia here. I think she gets it done. Why not? Decision.
All right. Finally, some disagreement. That's good. It's no fun if we agree on everything.
Yeah, but, exactly. You want a little bit of different things.
Yeah, but Johnny, get out of here. You bet against Ukraine. Get out.
All right, I'm out.
But all right, we can move on to this next one, guys. We've got Zhalgas. All right, I'm very hyped for this one. Zhalgas Zhumagulov versus Charles Johnson. Zhalgas is 14, 7, and 0, 34 years old. He's 5'4" with a 66-inch reach, and he's training out of American Top Team. Johnson on the other side is 11, 3, and 0. He's 31 years old. He's 3 years younger. 5'9", he's 4 inches taller, and he's got a 70-inch reach, so he's got a 4-inch reach advantage. And he's training out of St. Charles MMA. Johnny, why don't you start us off, man?
All right. Well, Zhumagulov, I mean, he's a good striker. He's got some power. He likes to push forward. He's got okay wrestling. He mainly gets his takedowns, not like the first attempt or second. He gets them after 3, 4, 5 attempts, and finally he'll get it. He does slow down as the fight goes on in the second and third rounds, but that's mainly because in the first round, he kind of puts on a pace on his opponents, and he's a little bit chinny if he gets rocked. And Johnson's very well-rounded, has good striking. He's got a good ground game with jiu-jitsu. He's got solid takedown defense. We saw that in his last fight against Makayev, and he impressed me, even though he lost pretty comfortably, if you want to say, but he impressed me because Makayev's a beast. Let's be honest. He's going to be a champion one day, but Charles Johnson's really good. He was the LFA champion. So I'm going to go with Johnson here. I'm actually pretty confident he gets this one done. I don't see maybe a late round knockout, if anything, but I think he gets this to decision and he wins pretty comfortably, either 29-28 or even 30-27. The only round that would be up in the air for me would be the first round because Zhumagulov, I can't even say his name. Zhumagulov. Sorry. Wow. Zhumagulov. Dang, that name is going to haunt my dreams. I swear I couldn't say it in my breakdown video or not. But he usually is good in the first round, and then he kind of tapers off after that. So give me Johnson. I have a bet on him in a parlay with the guy coming up next, and I have a lot of bets with the guy coming up on next. So yeah, I like Johnson here a lot. So give me him by decision or late, maybe third round knockout.
It's funny, once you said Johnson by decision, like I like to pull up the odds and see what it's at. If you look at Bet Online, which is what most of us could bet right now, it's plus 115. But Betway and Bet365, they have plus 160-ish for the decision prop. If we get plus 160 on FanDuel, DraftKings, something like that, I'm gonna hit that for sure. Yeah. I share a lot of the thoughts that you had. Like, I love Zhalgas. I've been a truther. The guy has been like underrated the entire time since he's entered the UFC. He beat Raulian Paiva here. Like, let's be real. Like, he beat him. He beat what's his face? Maryna. I had money on Maryna, all right? Like, I had a lot of money on Maryna.
I did too. And I was like, I think I got a robbery there.
Yep. So, like, yeah, I felt like Maryna lost that fight and Maryna won. It was the judges. If you look at the media scores, there's one media member who scored it for Maryna. Everybody else scored it for Zhalgas. I think that Zhalgas can mix in the wrestling. It's like, it's hard because people look at this and they're like, all right, Charles Johnson survived the wrestling of Mokaev. Of course he's going to survive the wrestling of Zhalgas. But is it the same? I don't really know.
I mean, I would say Mokaev's is better.
He's a better wrestler, but like, what applies better in the moment in MMA? I don't know. I still lean Mokaev. I do. I've seen several people say that they think Zhalgas is the better MMA wrestler. I don't share that opinion. Yeah. I think that it's probably Mokaev. And I think that Johnson did show he can stay on the feet. The only reason I'm hesitant to get to Johnson is his output with his hands. He's throwing a lot of kicks. He's throwing a lot of jabs. But that's about it. Lack of a 1-2, lack of combinations. Just not much. And for me, that's a problem. It's less of a problem when you're fighting a guy who only throws hooks, Zhalgas. I do think that Charles, he's longer, taller. He's going to hit that target first. I think that jab is going to be landing all day long for Charles Johnson. So, yeah, I'm tempted on that side as well. You said you parlayed him with someone coming up next. Yep. I think I know who you're talking about. I might parlay him with him. I'm also waiting for Bet Online to open up Bellator because
me too.
There's quite a few spots you can use for your parlays there.
Yes.
Jordan Newman. That I like. Off. So, we'll talk about this. He should dominate, but like minus 600
I know. I'm crazy. I looked at the odds because they're not on my bookie yet either, and it's like minus 500. I'm like, man, I hope it doesn't get too crazy by the time.
Minus 6 now.
So yeah, we'll see.
Stuff's crazy. All right, Papa Chuck, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. But all right, so yeah, I mean, I think I'm also gonna get the Charles. You said you parlayed him. I'll probably parlay him as well.
And I got him at minus 155. I think that's a pretty decent price for him.
How much did you stake? A unit?
Just a unit on that bet.
Yeah, so I think so.
I don't do like crazy units. I just do like a unit to 2 units range, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm definitely not looking to stake more than 1 unit because I do think there's a possibility Zhalgas, outputs him, puts that pressure. He doesn't need the takedown. He can mix it in, make you nervous about the takedown. You're striking less. He outstrikes you. I don't know. I do think Charles wins. So we'll move on to this next one that I think we've both got parlayed quite a bit.
Yeah.
We've got Jack Della Maddalena versus Danny Roberts. Jack is 12-2-0. He's 26 years old, 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Danny Roberts on the other side is 18-6-0. He's 35. He's 9 years older. 6'1". He is 2 inches taller, and he's got a 74-inch reach. I'm not positive about his camp. I think he's at Sanford MMA, but I can't place him for sure. Is it my turn or yours, Johnny? Do you remember? My show, but I forget.
I think it's your turn. Yes.
All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, come on. We all like Jack Della Maddalena here.
It matters. We can do it together.
Dead ass. We all know what's happening here. I mean, the UFC isn't giving Jack Della to Danny Roberts because they want Danny Roberts to win this fight. No. They're giving Jack Della Danny Roberts because they want Jack to win this fight.
Yeah, and probably nobody wants to fight Jack either.
I would imagine no. I mean, I wouldn't want to fight the guy.
Look at his nose. That's all you got to know.
In that picture, right? That's just fucked up. But Yeah, Danny Roberts is a decent striker himself. It's his output. It's the output for me that really makes a difference. It's not like he's some kind of crazy wrestler. He's not. He does get takedowns. Does he take Jack down if he wants to? Maybe. Maybe he can surprise him. Is he going to keep him down? I really don't think so. Is Jack going to scramble? Yeah, I really think so. I think Jack's just better. He's better at distance. He's better in the pocket. He's the better grappler. He's a better defensive grappler for sure. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. He's minus, what is it, 400 or something like that?
450, 460,
Minus
500. Yeah.
Even inside the distance is absolutely unplayable. It's minus 225. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
disgusting. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to really touch that much. I do have Jack parlayed. I parlayed him with the main event. We'll talk about that when we get there. And with PFL with Oliveira, Aubin Mercier, and Magomed Karimov. I'll be there live for that event.
Oh, you're going to be there at Bellator?
Nah, not Bellator, at PFL.
Oh, PFL. Okay.
Yeah. I got the press pass, so I'll be there. I was there for the playoffs too. I'm excited to see what goes down, but yeah, so I got Jack parlayed up there with the PFL boys and with our main event that we'll talk about soon. Nice. And that's all I'm gonna do. Like, I do think Jack dominates. I'm just hesitant to go 10-unit parlays and everything with him because, like, look, at the end of the day, he's still green. He's green. Like, we can all admit he's green. He even showed that, like, in the me fight, like, us as gamblers, we just focus on one thing. And we don't look at the fact that in the me fight, he was getting hit a lot. He was actually getting hit a lot in that first round until he finished the Meave. Like, it was not a clear, like, domination. Like, wow, when is this fight going to end for Jack? Like, no, it was close. And then Jack finished it. So I think we got to kind of pump the brakes on the on this hype on Jack, but I do think he dominates. And I did parlay him just like you did. And we can move on to this next one.
Yeah, real quick, though, I got Jack as well. I think he's just going to get that knockout. Roberts has a little, he has good striking, but he just doesn't like to get hit. And when he gets hit, I feel like everything just shuts off for him. And he's like, okay, I'm just here now. And he kind of stops. And Jack's going to get that knockout. It's either going to be a first round or a second round. I don't see it going to the third. And yeah, that's about it. That's
the books agree with you. They have Jack inside the distance at Jack by KO at minus 175.
It's crazy. I mean, I was looking at that. I was hoping that line would be a little bit closer to like, plus 100. I would have probably threw like 2 units on it, but I don't know if I want to throw 2 units on that. But I got him parlayed at like minus 450 and a couple bets, and I have the fight doesn't go the distance as well. It's actually not real. It's not even that bad. I think it was minus like 330. So that's better than taking the Jack money line if you think he's going to get the knockout. So.
Yeah, but at that point, I would just probably play the Jack inside the distance because
True. You never know. There could be a weird injury or something.
I was about to say, how does Jack get finished? And it's like, Danny has arms and legs. Like, he can knock him out.
True. I don't see it happening, but I mean, I've seen stranger things.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, no reason to sit here and break this fight down anymore.
Yeah, that's about it. Easy peasy.
For this next one, we've got Muslim Salikhov versus Andre Fialho. Salikhov is 18-3-0. He's 38 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. And I've got him at American Top Team. On the other side, we've got Fialho. He's 16-5-0, 28 years old. He's 10 years younger here. 6 feet tall. He's 1 inch taller. 74-inch reach. He's got a 4-inch reach advantage, and he's out of my favorite camp, Sanford MMA. I refuse to call them Kill Cliff. Johnny, why don't you start us off, man?
I think this is going to be a pretty decent fight for however long it lasts. I was kind of going back and forth. I picked both guys in their last fight, actually, and I bet both guys in their last fight, and they both lost by knockout. So I'm a little skeptical on both these guys. A little bit, their chin and stuff, and see how they're going to hold up. But I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to go with Fialho here. I think it's more of a pick 'em now. Fialho was the slight underdog. I just think his chin is going to be able to hold up a little bit more. And I mean, Muslim's a good striker. Don't get me wrong. He does have power, but he likes to use his kicks more so. And I think Fialho does not care about getting kicked in the leg or getting kicked in the body. He's going to go straight for him and just try to land that knockout shot. And that's just the style of fighter he is. I know he got knocked out pretty brutally by Jake Matthews, but I don't think that's going to stop him quite yet. Maybe if he gets knocked out in this fight, he might switch up his style, if you want to say, but he's going forward. He's going to land. Eventually, I think he's going to take a punch to land a punch. And I think Muslim is going to be the one just to go down first, unfortunately. So give me Fialho here. I'm going to say by knockout. And I'll say like early second round. I think it survives one round, but I think it's not going to the distance. It's going to go under 2.5. I think the line is even set at 2.5, which I was kind of shocked. I think it's a pretty decent line to back if you're going to do the -2.5.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm on Fialho as well. And like, for me, this really comes down to just one thing: output. Output. Salikhov is one of the best technical strikers in the UFC. I mean, that's undisputable. He's very, very good. He's very technical. But for the love of God, he doesn't throw anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw anything. Everything's spinning. Very few punches. Even in the Li Jingliang fight, like the guy wasn't throwing shit. So I'm never gonna back someone like that. Like I'm either gonna pass or I'm just not gonna like. I'm gonna bet against you. I don't like low output. I really don't. I really hate guys who depend on these fancy kicks. Like, yeah, your spinning kick is deadly, but how many times are you gonna land that, bro?
Yeah,
you're not gonna
like
land
twice in your career.
And it's not like Fialho is some stud, you know. Like I faded Fialho in his last fight against Jake. A lot of us did, you know. Like we understood, like Fialho's good, yes, but at a certain point, there's overhype, and that's what happened. And we bet Jake Matthews, and he won. It's just here, like it's hard for me because output easily I give to Fialho. Technical striking, I guess I give to Salikhov, but Fialho is very good too. He's a very good Muay Thai practitioner. Grappling, that's easily Salikhov, easily.
Yeah.
But he doesn't use it.
Nope.
He doesn't fucking use it. So
I hate that. I hate that too.
The fuck I need a car for if I'm not going to drive?
Exactly.
So it's like, can he win this? Salikhov, yes. Should he win this? Honestly, I would argue yes. I think it should be wider. I feel like any of us betting Fialho should get a better line because I feel like the line should be wider. That said, I did bet Fialho. I bet him at +110, put a unit on it. And, you know, I hear so many people on that under, a lot of sharp people, a lot of other people that I talk to, everybody's on this under, and I can't get there. I can't get there because, like, Salikhov didn't get knocked out until the Leech, right? Like, up until that fight, we were all saying Salikhov doesn't get finished. And everyone has that moment when they finally get finished. And then the question is, was it a one-off? Or is it just going to happen every time like Frankie Edgar now?
Yeah.
We don't really know. I just think that Salikhov is tough. He can grapple. He's definitely got the wrestling edge here. So, like, we do have to be careful. I would not condone playing Fialho right now. He's the favorite. Like, I can't
slight
back
favorite.
that. Yeah. I can't back that. -105, Caesar's okay. -104, FanDuel, okay. Anything further, like I would just pass.
Yeah.
I liked him as a dog +110 because of what I said, but I wouldn't go too far at this point.
Yeah. Another thing to bring up too, real quick, is Muslim got knocked out about 3 months ago, and Fialho was 5 months ago. So they're both coming in, you know, in this fight. It's fairly recent too, and you know, Muslim's getting up there in age. I mean, he's 38 years old now, so and he's going to have like a 4.5 inch reach disadvantage. So, I mean, I think Fialho gets that knockout eventually, and it's going to take a little bit of time. But another thing why I like the under so much is I think both of them can get knocked out. But it's just a style of Fialho. He's a kill or be killed fighter. He's going to go forward no matter what, and he might get knocked out or he might get the knockout. Like that's why I like it just a little bit better. And you know, I'm paying the price for it. But yeah, I like Fialho though. I think he's going to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron Van Camp showed that Fialho, you know, he's a good striker, but he has a chin just like the rest of us, right? So that under and that fight doesn't go definitely makes sense. But
even the fight doesn't go is not even that bad of a price. I think it's -175 range. And that was like, what is going, like, I think that should be like -250 or higher. Like I think that's a good line to hit for parlays. I think that hits.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably be the person on the other side being like, I think this might go to decision.
No, I don't blame you. I always look for for me, it's like, man, that should be higher. Like that should be higher. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Instead, I'm not the contrarian. I'm like, you know what? I'm the only one. I'm gonna do this one, but it looks good though. I have an argument.
See, if I'm feeling that contrarian shit, I'm like, all right, yeah, Mike, we got this.
The one contrarian pick up real quick though was the Makayev in his last fight against Malcolm Gordon. I was like the only person I've seen on Twitter that did the over 1.5. Everybody was under, and I was like, I got plus money on the over, and I think it's gonna hit because he's gonna wrestle. And I think Gordon was good enough. He wasn't gonna get subbed. So,
dude, I had Makayev inside the distance there for like 5 units.
Oh man,
and I'm sitting there in the third round. I'm like, all right. We lost. Let's see if we can make it back. And then, like, there's 30 seconds left. The motherfucker gets a choke. I'm like, yes, I knew it the whole time.
I am the best UFC gambler ever.
Yo, I'm the best capper in the world, yo. Come on. But, all right, we can move on to the highest level fight of this card. I mean, this is a high level fight.
People's main event.
It should be. It should be the main event. I mean, on a normal day, it probably would be.
I wouldn't be surprised one day.
Yo, the way it's been going, we've got Chase, the Vanilla Gorilla Sherman versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Sherman 16-10-0. He's 33 years old, 6'4" with a 78-inch reach, and he's training out of my favorite camp, Sanford MMA, not Killcliff. Waldo Cortes-Acosta, 8-0, undefeated as a pro, 31 years old. He's 2 years younger. They're the same size in terms of height and reach. And for his camp, I've got United Boxing Hub. I do know that he spent some time in Arizona. Brandon Olivas was talking about this, that he trains with him. So I think he's spending some time at Fight Ready. Nothing on his Instagram, but just word of mouth. Yeah, it's my turn. Look, this is a copy and paste kind of fight. Like, these are two guys who are just the same. Just the same. And what's the difference? One of them has been in the UFC for a minute, and the other one's brand new and just got fucking leg kicked to death by Jared Vandera like
a week
3
ago,
weeks ago.
Or 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Like, let's be real here. I mean, Chase Sherman's no killer, but like, he's a good fighter. He's a decent heavyweight, very good output, good straight striking. Like, he's technical. He's not just winging strikes. And Cortes-Acosta, like, he's just a striker. What's given Chase Sherman a lot of problems? Grappling. He got freaking rear naked choked by Fat Collier, of all people. I mean, like, clearly grappling's an issue. Going into the Vandera fight, we're all like, all right, if Vandera just fucking takes him down one time, it's over. Of course, Vandera doesn't do it, but finally...
Worst fight IQ in the UFC is Vandera.
Oh, yeah, easily. But, because of that, it's like... I'm not that high on Costa. Like, I knew he was going to win his Contender Series fight. I say I knew because, like, the matchup was clear. Like, it was very clear that Acosta was going to win. And I just never thought that highly. He's very limited. Like, he's a boxer, but he's also, like, they hype him up like he's one of these guys, like, boxer coming into the UFC, very little MMA experience, but they box, so they're animals. It's, like, not the case here. He's really not that crazy good of a boxer. And, like, I think Chase Sherman can outstrike him. So I played Chase Sherman. I played him at plus 160. I played him for 0.65 units to win just over 1. I just think he can outwork Acosta. Like, if he's not getting grappled, then you're telling me Acosta has to outstrike him. And we don't see that very often from Chase Sherman. We don't. So I'm going to go with Chase Sherman here. Low level. I think he's the higher level of the two. What are you thinking, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm actually on the same side you are here. I like Sherman here. It's weird to even say that coming, out of my mouth. It feels dirty to me to say that, but I was just not impressed with Waldo, even in his Dana White Contender Series where he won, because like you said, that guy was just who he fought was just not good at all. But Waldo is not dangerous. Like, he's very wild with his strikes. He doesn't really have that knockout power. It takes him a while to get the knockouts if he gets them, like later in the fight, like second or third round. And then after like a minute or two in the fight, when he throws maybe 10 strikes, he's super wild. And with Chase, I mean, the one good thing that you can say about Chase Sherman is he's technical throughout the whole fight with his boxing. Yeah, he doesn't move his head, but I mean, he's always technical with his strikes. He's really quick. He has a quick jab, good 1-2. He's got 0 ground game, but he doesn't have to worry about it in this fight. I wish and hope that he throws at least 2 leg kicks in the beginning of the fight and test that leg, because that leg is another red flag here. I don't even know if Waldo's going to be able to, run or go around the ring for 3 rounds, because it might go to the decision here. But I like Sherman. I think he might get that late knockout, and maybe it's by a leg knockout, because I mean, if I was Chase Sherman and I didn't throw any leg kicks like he usually does, I would start learning leg kicks right now, just for that reason. You can get an easy knockout right there, I think. So give me Sherman. And I think more money's coming in on Waldo. I'm waiting for that line to see where it stops, and I might just throw like a unit on it just for fun. If I lose, I lose. I mean, I know this is a low level fight. I know what I'm getting myself into if I bet it, but I really like Sherman here, and it's weird, but this is the time to bet Sherman, guys. Right here. I think this is the fight.
Yeah, if you just saw my eyes go weird on the stream, it's because Johnny brought up the odds, and I went to go check Chase Sherman money line.
So like plus 160?
Bro, it's plus 185 right now.
Oh my God. I mean, you have to. Is there an injury? I mean, I don't understand how it's that high now.
Literally, how do you bet Waldo Cortes-Acosta at minus 220?
It's insane.
Why? Why would you do that? Do you want to be like Brady and break your TV? I mean, that's yeah. I mean, like I said, I have 0.65 units on Sherman. If we get plus 200 on the guy, I'm gonna go a full unit, guys.
I would right now, but I would wait and see until it starts going back down. I mean, you already,
yeah.
I'm gonna wait until see if it still goes up.
That's what I would do, man. I mean, we're getting 2 guys who are very, very similar. I just don't understand what Cortes-Acosta could do here that would make him a minus.
He's very, like, both guys are super hittable too. So like, I at very best or at worst, I'm sorry, it should be a 50-50 fight. And if I'm gonna get plus almost 200 odds on a 50-50 fight, yeah, I'll roll the dice.
Johnny, what do you think of the over, man? Over 1.5. It's minus 146 on Bet Online. Caesars has minus 135.
I think it hits. I wouldn't play that. I think there's better angles, but I like it. If anybody likes it, I think that's the way to do it for the under, or the over. Under is do the over.
Yeah, I might target that also as like a little bit of a side thing, because yeah, I think both these guys, like we were saying, they're very similar, and neither one's that chinny. Neither one carry, like, they're heavyweights. Yeah, they got power. Of course they have power, but like neither one of them is getting one punch KOs.
Nope.
Neither one ever.
Nope.
So the over 1.5 at minus 146, I don't love. Minus 135. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I
Minus
might drop
120. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like we were saying, if Sherman keeps if he gets to plus 200, I'm gonna be sitting there waiting and just play it happily.
Yep. You have to.
Like, yeah, Weezy's gonna come chasing us with a bag of oranges. Rightfully so. I understand the orderlies will be called, but like, it plus 200, plus 185. What are you guys doing?
I mean, I almost want to do it right now, but I'm just gonna wait. It's still early. It's Tuesday. It's not like it's Friday. You know what I mean?
That's something I deal with all the time, man. Lines will drop. I'm like, I love this. I'm betting it now, and then I look like a week later. I'm like, fuck. But all right, we can move on to this next one. Got a fight, actually, I want to pick your brain about. We got Cutelaba versus Kennedy Nzechukwu. Cutelaba is 16, 8-1. He's 28 years old, 6'1" with a 75-inch reach, and he is training out of Extreme Couture. Nzechukwu is 10, 3-0. He's 30 years old, 6'5". He's 4 inches taller, 83-inch reach. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage, and he's training out of Fortis MMA. So it's my turn, and yeah, I mean, this is so tough for me. Like, I was very hyped to talk about this on the show just because I'm not sure. So first of all, I'm very proud of this one. I hit the span submission against Cutelaba.
Nice.
You know. That was cool. I read the fact that Span's always going for those subs, and what does Cutelaba always do? He shoots. And what does he do when he shoots? He sticks his goddamn neck just out there, and he's like, "You want to see if you can guillotine me?" And like he got submitted by fucking Johnny Walker. Another time where I was like, "Yo, I think the sub could hit. That time I was pussy. I didn't play it. I was like, nah, I'm too scared.
I just want to say I played Johnny Walker money line, so I'm okay with that.
I hit Johnny Walker money line as well.
Okay.
I wish I hit the sub because I spoke about it but didn't play it. But yeah, I mean, it's just like even this fight, right? I was seeing people saying Nzechukwu sub, and I was like, yo, guys, we can't just keep playing the same prop every time. And then I ran the tape, and I was like, fuck, Nzechukwu might get a sub again. Because what did Kennedy do in his last fight, right? He mixed in that grappling. He took the back, did transitions, looked for submissions, something that he doesn't do.
Ever.
And Ian Cutelaba, God bless him, just does the same thing every fucking time. No matter how much success he doesn't have, he just does it anyways. You know, you look at the Jacoby fight. How many fights do you have to have since Dustin Jacoby for you to understand that when you take down a big, large man, you're going to tire out and get yourself finished? Like, how many times you got to do that, bro? I had him against Jacoby. We got that draw. I was like, thank God I got my money back. But like, at the same time, though, it's like Kennedy has terrible fight IQ, continuously makes terrible mistakes, lost to Nikolai Negamarianu, who I think Cutelaba is just a better version of. And, you know, he's consistently inconsistent is Kennedy Nzechukwu. Like, you can always know that he's not going to give you the same shit. He's going to surprise you every single time. He might come in looking like an incredible striker, or he might come in looking like a trash striker. Comes in looking like a D1 wrestler against Carl Roberson, or he could be a trash wrestler. Depends on the day, how he's feeling. But, yeah, I'm torn here. Right now, I'm not making a bet. My lean is Nzechukwu just because, A, I'm a huge size bully guy. Like, I really believe in size bullying. I think it's tremendously important. Like, you cannot ignore an 8-inch reach advantage. You can't ignore 4, 5, 6-inch height advantage. We're talking about two people who are completely different sizes. So that has me hesitant. The striking has me hesitant because I do think Nzechukwu is the better striker. The takedown defense of Nzechukwu has me hesitant. It's very good, 86%. Guys against like Darko Stosic haven't found much success against him. But yet
I think you're chalking yourself into a Kennedy bet right now.
I'm the other way, Johnny. I might talk myself onto Cutelaba. I don't know. Something inside of me is like Ion is the side. And the line keeps going towards Kennedy, keeps going towards him. And I get it. We just saw Ion he got guillotine choked by Ryan Spann. And then he got rear naked by Walker. But devil's advocate, right? Devil's advocate. Spann just knocked out Dominic Reyes in like 3 minutes. Knocked him out fucking flat.
2.0.
And and Johnny Walker, like, dude's a black belt. I've been talking about a possibility of a sub coming from him for a minute now since the freaking Thiago Santos fight. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Cutelaba, if he gets his wrestling off, I mean, he will. I'll say this. He's going to get his wrestling off. Will he be able to keep Kennedy down? That's my question mark. Because he's going to really exhaust himself trying. And if he can't, he's probably going to get clipped. I've been looking at like Kennedy round 3 also because I feel like that's a possibility. It's plus 800, plus 850. That's not quite juicy enough for a round 3 prop for me.
Yeah.
If it gets to like plus 1,000, maybe we're talking. But yeah, I mean, right now, I'm not going to play this at all. My lean is probably Cutelaba. It's looking like I might get a good underdog price for him. I mean, if it's plus 170-ish, I'm going to play it. I'm going to be okay with it. Because look, like we had him. He was not this deep against Ryan Spann. I think he was the favorite against Ryan Spann, right?
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure he was the favorite against Johnny Walker too. And now we got him.
Now pretty big favorite too.
And now he's the underdog against Kennedy. Like, why? Why is that different?
I know why.
Why?
It's because I actually think that Cutelaba is consistently inconsistent. I mean, yeah, he's going to go in guns blazing, go for takedowns, try to knock your head off in the beginning of the fight. He does that every fight, but I mean, he's got nothing to back that up. I mean, he's a little bit chinny. He has zero defensive grappling. His wrestling, he's got good takedowns, but I don't think he's got good top control. And he just tries to go for ground and pound. He doesn't have good jiu-jitsu to keep him down. And I just think he gasses himself out all the time. And we've seen with Kennedy, he is a very good punching bag, except one fight. He's survived like a beating, like in 2 fights for like a round or 2 rounds, and then got the finish in the 3rd round. And then, except his last fight, he pulled off this miracle of I know wrestling and grappling now, and that was like eye opening. I'm like, oh my god, this guy could be the real deal. But he's so big, and this striking, he's just the bigger guy here. And I think if Cutelaba goes in there and tries to wrestle, he's going to gas himself out, and Kennedy will be able to stuff those takedowns. And like you said, this could be a good time for a Kennedy submission. I think that's a good prop. What is it, like minus 1100 range or so?
Plus 1200, baby.
I think it's a good spot for one. And I really like Kennedy in this fight. I got him in a parlay with, I think Jack. I have Jack in like 5 different parlays. I swear, I think he wins. But,
that's how we do it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see it finishing in the 1st round, or maybe it might finish in the 2nd or 3rd round. But I like Kennedy here. I just think the size is going to be a big problem. Kennedy knows grappling now. Like, we know that he knows grappling. Even if I think, and he has good takedown defense, like you said. So I just don't see a way that Cutelaba wins unless he just lunges at him when he's not expecting it, Kennedy, and he gets that knockout. I just don't see anything else other than that. And it's a stretch. I'm stretching. So give me Kennedy. I'm pretty confident that he's going to win this fight. And I'm not saying he's the next coming of, Khabib or anything like that. But I think he can out grapple and out wrestle Cutelaba just because he's the bigger, stronger guy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's where I gotta disagree, because
okay,
Cutelaba out wrestled Devin Clark, right? And Devin Clark's an actual credentialed wrestler. We're talking about a credentialed wrestler.
Man, is he not good though?
He's another guy. We've been saying this, consistently inconsistent.
Exactly.
Sometimes he's fantastic. Sometimes he's absolute gutter trash. But I'll say this: I'm with you in terms of I think Kennedy should win. I think my early lean was Kennedy. I don't know, just a gut feeling is telling me it's a buy low spot for Cutelaba, because
True.
We've just seen bad. We've only seen bad for Cutelaba, but like I said, he was a favorite against Johnny Walker. He was a favorite against Ryan Spann. The guy was beating freaking Glover Teixeira until he got submitted, like Glover Teixeira does. He's not a bad fighter. We're just very low. No. We're very low on him, but I'm with you. Kennedy's way bigger. Kennedy's way better at striking. It's not even comparable. Grappling, we're not going to know until we get in the cage, but Kennedy showed he can wrestle as well. He's not a scrub. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, if it was even money, I'd be on Kennedy. But one thing I wanted to ask you, how about the over 1.5 here, minus 125?
I think I like the over. I would lean the over more so. The only way that I can see an under would be an Cutelaba knockout early. That's it.
Yeah, I'm kind of imagining pretty much every fight for these guys. Cutelaba goes in there round 1, maybe takes him down a bunch, gets tired out. We get to round 2. Cutelaba shoots for takedowns, not getting them now. Nzechukwu's beating him up a little bit, hits the 2.5 mark. We cash our bet and we go home.
Exactly.
This is what I'm thinking here, possibly. I don't love betting overs on heavyweights and light heavyweights.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. I would stay away. I think this fight does not go the distance in some point of the fight. I would just lean the over. Is it 2.5 or 1.5?
So the over's 2.5. I did want to mention.
Okay. I thought it was 1.5. Never mind. I do think it goes. See, that's the thing. It's really close. I wish it was 1.5, because I would do the over. I think the third
it is
round
1.5, Tony. It is 1.5.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Then over for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I might play that. It's minus 125. It's going the other way too. Looks like we might get better. I think I'm going to play that. It's two guys who are dangerous, but I do think we go
and you
over
get better odds too from Kennedy. So if you like Kennedy, you get better odds. I think he finishes it in the late 2nd or 3rd round.
And if you are looking for that fight doesn't go, I will say this. I like to look at lines and compare them. Fight doesn't go to the decision for this fight is minus 360 across the board, but not on Bet Online. On Bet Online, it's minus 260. So you're saving an entire $1 there.
Wow.
If you like that, I'd go to Bet Online right now and hit that.
I think I actually played doesn't go the distance in a parlay with Fialho.
Did you get the
that
minus
fight.
300-ish?
Yeah, minus 330. No, wait, I lied. I did not play that one yet. I was looking at doing that fight doesn't go the distance for this fight, but I didn't do it yet.
Do you keep
I
notes
think it's
also?
minus
And you
360.
forget to put it sometimes?
Yeah. Like I have a whole a list of stuff that I like and I always just watch and like I cross it off, but I don't remember what I bet until I post it on my like Instagram or YouTube and stuff. So I have so many bets that I haven't posted yet, so I don't know what I have.
Yeah, I have a whole bulletin board behind my screen, and like I would show you guys if I didn't have to rip off my screen to show you. But
that's what I should do too, is have a bulletin board right here and just I have this bet and this bet.
Speaking of which, actually, oh fuck. Okay, sorry, Johnny. I'm looking at the odds real quick.
You're good.
So we were talking about regionals real quick and how I like regionals, and one of the regionals I've been waiting for the lines for was Invicta FC. And of course, they fucking hate me, so they drop them while we're on stream, and I can't look. So I'm gonna look real quick. I apologize if anyone hates WMMA. I'm sorry.
Oh, I hate it.
Melissa Odessa Parker, Elise Pone. There's no bet there. Minus 700 on Parker. That's not a good line. Claire Guthrie minus 380. Nope. Danny McCormack minus 180. Comeback plus 150. No. Yeah, no, they fucked this card up. There's no bettable spots on Invicta FC. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, thankfully they didn't drop any other lines.
Well, there's your breakdown video.
Make sure y'all are following me on Couch Warrior Pod. I'm posting my bets as soon as I make them. Like I said, I literally have a bulletin board behind my screen right now with bets for Cage Warriors, Invicta, 1FC, both of them, LFA. What else do I have? Fucking ACA, CES, CFFC 115. Man. We have like 10 regional cards this weekend. I have bets for all of them. And the guys who make the odds are just like, let's fuck with Mike a little bit. Let's put out Anthony Pettis FC, who's never had lines before. Let's do that one first. But sorry for my little thing, guys. I just, it happens. But we'll move on to the main event of the evening. This is a good one. We've got Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. Lewis is 26, 10-0, 37 years old, 6'3" with a 79-inch reach, and I do not have a camp for him. I believe he does his own thing. Spivak on the other side is 15, 3-0. He's 27 years old. He's 10 years younger here. Same height, 1-inch reach disadvantage for Spivak, and he's training out of, I believe, Extreme Couture. Johnny, why don't you start us off for the main event, man?
All right. Well, we pretty much, even if you're a casual fan, I'm sure you know Derrick Lewis. He is a power puncher. He is known for the one-shot power and not like Chase Sherman or Waldo that we were talking about earlier in the heavyweight division. This guy is legit knockout power, and it only takes one punch, and he's done it a couple times to win fights, and he was losing the whole fight until that one punch. Other than that, that's about it. That's Derrick Lewis for you. I just said it right there. Spivak is a very good wrestler. He's got okay striking. He's got a decent jab. He's got, like I said, really good wrestling, good takedowns, good ground and pound. He does have some submissions, but he mainly goes for ground and pound. He tries to get to the mount position and just rain down hammer fists, which is insane. And I've seen stuff on Twitter saying, Derrick Lewis is 4-2 against wrestlers, but Spivak is 5-1 against legit strikers that don't wrestle. So I like Spivak here a lot. And the only thing that will worry me, and in every Derrick Lewis fight, it's gonna worry you if you're not on the Derrick Lewis side, is that one punch power. It could happen at any time. But I think Spivak's fight IQ is good enough to know that he needs to either clinch up with him somehow and use his trips to try to get the takedowns, or try to time it correctly and go for the single leg or double leg. But Blades tried to do that and he got knocked out. So I think the best way for him to do this is to try to get close, maybe use his striking 1-2s to make him go backwards a bit, try to clinch up with him, use his trips. And I think after maybe 1 or 2 takedowns in the first and second round, I think he does end up making Lewis quit in a way, because we've seen him quit recently when he gets tired out. It's like he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't like fighting 5-round fights. He even said this. So give me Spivak here. I like where he's going. He's 27 years old. He's looked good in his last 2 fights. I mean, I'm not saying Greg Hardy is Derrick Lewis, but it's kind of a decent blueprint to do the same thing, rinse and repeat. So give me Spivak here. I like him. I got 2 units to win, a little over a unit. I got at 2 different prices because the Vieira fight was off and I had him parlayed with Vieira. But I'm looking to maybe do inside the distance. I'm looking to maybe do an under parlay. I don't like the under 1.5. I think that's too close. I might do like under 2.5 or maybe 3.5 in a parlay. But I like Spivak here. I mean, I'm pretty confident that he wins. I'm not going to say he's a lock, but I mean, I'm pretty confident that he wins this one unless he gets the touch of death.
Yeah, I feel like I've been a Spivak truther, honestly, because like I feel like ever since he got finished by ever since he lost to Marcin Tybura, everyone's been like super low on him.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I backed him in the Carlos Felipe fight, cashed there. He was minus 200, yeah, but he won. Jared Vandera, I remember he was like, I'm looking now, he's minus 250. I remember everyone saying Vandera can grapple him, this and that.
But we know Vandera.
Yep. Everyone was just so low on Spivak, and he's shown them to be wrong. He beat Felipe. He beat Vandera. He beat Olenek. He only got knocked out by Aspinall. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Finished
really okay.
Greg Hardy in round 1. Finished Sakai in round 2. Like, the guy is no joke, and he's shown that. It's Derrick Lewis, right? It's Derrick Lewis. Like, Curtis Blades beats that guy like 11 times out of 10. But yet what happened? Curtis Blades got fucking uppercutted into hell. What can you do? It just happens. I do like Spivak. He has everything he needs to win this fight. He should win this fight. I parlayed him with our guy Jack for a unit. Not a unit, a little bit over than that. 1.2 units. I got that at minus 117. Okay. Thought that was a great parlay.
Yeah.
Like that. I played Spivak sub plus 385 for, I think, 0.3 units. Because I think he is live for the sub. I think we're going to have a lot of ground control time. Derrick Lewis, he did break BJJ. Like, he showed, like, you don't want to get submitted, just stand up.
Yep, exactly.
That's what he does. But realistically, he still gets taken down. He still gets controlled. Spivak can do that. And on the feet, it's not like Spivak's going to be out of place. The guy's a good striker. The guy's a good boxer. He's got good striking. He's shown that. Unless Derrick Lewis lands his lucky KO, I think it's Spivak all day. I do not like betting on knockouts, on lucky knockouts. That's not my thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm on Spivak as well. Just a unit on the parlay, just a 0.3 on the prop. I'm not willing to bet more than that just because I won't be shocked if Spivak dominates and then, they stand up. Derrick Lewis goes boop and Spivak just goes to sleep. So, got to be careful, but I do think it's Spivak all day.
Yeah. A good way to hedge your bet if you're a little bit scared if you bet Spivak would be, fight doesn't go, like under 2.5. I think that's safe for both guys.
I'm actually curious now about the overs.
The over 1.5 is like pick 'em. I don't know what I like. That's like the perfect line, and I'm like, I hate you odds.
Yeah, that's like an impossible line because
it is. I don't know. I mean, I could see it either way.
I feel like logic would point you towards over, right? Because is Derrick Lewis going to get an early knockout? No. Is Spivak just going to take him down and destroy him? No. So you would think it would take 7.5 minutes or more.
Yeah, but I think it depends. Yeah, and I think it depends. It doesn't depend on Lewis. It depends on Spivak and his pace. Is he going to be patient? Is he going to wait for the right time to get that takedown or clinch up with him? Because Lewis, we know he's not going to go forward. He's going to wait to see what you're doing. He takes his time. He plots and plans. He saves his power. He does until he unleashes, and then he's just going to be gassed. But that's the thing with Lewis. I mean, he waits and waits and waits and waits, and then he unleashes, and it's a knockout. So
I'm getting like a Volkov vibe here, like round 5, Derrick Lewis is down 4 rounds. Boop.
It could happen.
That's like my main concern.
I mean, I'd be shocked if it happened. Let's put it that way. But it could happen.
Yeah. I mean, going to be a good one for sure. But all right, guys. So that's a card. We just broke down UFC Vegas 65. Thank you to Johnny for coming on. I appreciate you big time, man. I'll pass the mic to you now. Tell people where to find you. Tell them what's up.
Well, thanks everybody for coming out and sticking with us for the whole card. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Johnny K Picks. I have a YouTube channel, Johnny K Picks. I have a Twitter and Instagram, Johnny K Picks. Same thing that you see on the screen. Thank you, Mike, for having me on. I appreciate you. And me and Blood Money MMA Bets, we do live streams every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So tomorrow night we will have one going over the cards. We also do special pay-per-view live streams as well, usually the Friday before Friday night, sometime about 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to look to get you on as well, too. So I had a great time. I appreciate it. This is a blast. I love doing live streams. So whenever you need somebody, if somebody cancels or anything like that, let me know. I'm down.
Yes, sir. I also love live streams. I started off my YouTube career. I was doing pre-recorded streams.
Yep.
And it's like, I love going live so much.
Yeah. Well, that's what I used to, well, I still do, but I've been doing more like just recording and going and just being more live and just more raw, and instead of editing and stuff. I used to edit, but man, I save so much time, and I think it's more fun, and it's like it just makes me feel like I'm talking to people instead of just talking to the camera. It's weird.
I like a discussion is easier than a speech, right? Like,
yeah,
I rather discuss with people. I love when people hop in the chat, push back, say something rather than me just talk. But like, I kept up my first ever video. Like, anybody watching, you guys want to see a terrible video? My first video is still up there. I was sitting there like this, right? I was breaking down the fights. I was like, all right, for this next fight. It's how it goes.
Dude,
your first few videos.
My first video, my wife still to this day goes to my first video on my YouTube and watches it and just laughs. And I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, it's the funniest thing in the world. And I'm like, thanks. I appreciate it.
No.
It is. But I'm like, I said like a million times. You can go on it if anybody wants to. Feel free and laugh. It's a good laugh. I mean, I get it. But my wife's like, it's so funny though. And I'm like, and all the views on that is her. I swear to God, it's all her.
Yeah, I used to get my ass cut because I like to drink for my streams. Mm-hmm. And I used to do White Claws, and I stopped because I had to take bathroom breaks during every single stream. And now I take shots. I'll do a few shots before the stream, whatever. Don't need to pee. I'm all good. But if you watch my old streams, there's like 10 breaks. I'm like, be right back, going to the bathroom.
Hold on. there ain't no laws with White Claws, so you're good.
Yes, sir. But all right, guys, we're still live. Thank you all for watching us, and have a good one. Good luck this weekend. We're gonna fuck these bookies up. I already feel it. Good luck, everybody, and peace.
Later.